Everybody, and welcome to another episode of the podcast, an unofficial IB podcast made by IB students for IB students and other people alike. And today, what is our event today? What's going on? It's an episode
It's,
released like 5 days before Christmas, ain't it? No?
oh, dude, it is. It's 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm having bread. What's up, shit? What
Yes,
are you
indeed.
doing?
We have entered winter break,
Oh,
but of course,
college season
but of course,
for IB students.
where we're living and our situation with the IB diploma is more or less of a break and more of just catching up to stuff that we haven't done during the school year, ain't it not?
Well, some people, yes, me
Yeah.
included.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I think I still have like 2 IAs I need to go through, which is not as bad as others, but still quite the handful.
and
You?
and I mean, it's just like the IB, what is it? No, our internal deadlines for the E is coming up,
Oh, that's true.
right?
Yeah.
It's like a final
Okay,
one. I
when we
actually
get back. Literally when we get back.
I actually don't have a complete understanding of how internal deadlines works. I guess it's just like different for like each school. But then like the final deadline is sending at the same day. But I just said internal deadlines to keep students up to date and not have them
Yep.
cram up the entire thing in the end.
And it gives students time to at least prepare for the actual exams by the end. Not just
Yeah,
try to
yeah.
fit every single thing in.
Every single
the
thing
last
in
few
like a
months.
single week.
Oh,
Speaking of exams, we just had our mid-year, right?
Yeah,
Mid-year
we
exams
just had our
not long
midyear,
ago.
midterms.
Mid- Is it midterm
like
or
what?
mid-year? It's mid-year, isn't it?
I think it's
'Cause
midterm. I think it's midterm. Is it midterms? I think
I thought
midyear.
I thought midterm is between semesters, but this is no. I thought midterm is in the middle of the semester, but this is between two semesters, is it not?
Oh.
I have no idea.
Just
but
call it an end of semester.
end of
exam.
semester
End of
exam.
semester.
Yeah,
exam.
just call it that.
Perfect.
Perfect.
End of semester exam. Just finished that like 3 days ago.
3 days ago? Is it? It's been 3 days.
It's Saturday right now.
Yeah, it is
Oh, it
Saturday.
was Wednesday. Wednesday was the last day.
Wednesday,
for exam, so yeah,
Thursday,
around 3 days.
Friday. Around 3 days ago, per se.
Yeah, around 3 days ago. Dang. And all of a sudden, I feel like I've forgotten everything that I studied for.
Well, I mean,
which comes as a
yeah.
product of exams, but
Which I mean, I mean, a little bit of hitting or like, doing a little roasting. It's also a slight product of trying to cram stuff like 10 minutes before the exam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You're not wrong. But it works.
It works, but
It works.
it's work, but it's I mean for me, like, is that really the purpose? I mean, one of my teachers when he was in high school or even like university, it's like yeah, like right before exam, he would just be like relaxing, like getting drinks, eating some food right before exams, and before exams, whenever someone would try to come up to him and say and ask him like questions about what's in the exam or like the topic that they're being tested on, he would be like, nope, I'm not answering that. I'm not gonna talk about the exam. I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. And I honestly, I really like that a lot. And I like took that
That's,
into like
that's quite laissez-faire, I guess.
like consideration into my exam. And I feel like I just feel more relaxed in general with the exam.
Dang.
Instead of like
Dang.
staying up till 1 a.m. to study, I just like, if I stay up late to study, I feel like it's not gonna be as effective, so I'm just gonna go to sleep,
Perhaps.
and that works
I guess I
extremely well. At least
I
for
guess
me.
I
At
adopt a
least for me.
similar. Okay, yeah. I agree with what you've been doing there. Like, I think relaxation is an important thing to have before the exams. I know that's mind-blowing coming from me, but let me tell you right now, here's how I view exams and how you can feel confident going into them. Or at least, for me, if you pushed yourself, I guess as hard as you can to study for an exam, then there's no reason you should be worrying for it. Or at least that's how I view it before going into an exam room. Like, I spend the entire day before, like, cramming in information, and to keep myself calm and not panicking, to keep myself relaxed, I just hold on to the fact that yes, I did do all this work. They didn't go for nothing. And I go into the exam room with a smile on my face, hoping everything goes right. And if it's math, well, hope is all I have.
Maths do be like that sometimes, eh?
Math is not your friend. Not when you're taking an exam.
Math,
I stopped. Oh,
math,
go ahead, go ahead.
math is something I don't believe to be something that you can easily cram about.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think it is either.
because let's say just like compared to like something. Let's say for me, I take like a business test, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
there's a question about, oh, can you please define this term and find the advantages of using this method of, advertisement and its disadvantages. Now, obviously, there you can like easily like find like a site online that tells you all of it, and you can easily remember that, and then you can just like recall that stuff.
Regurgitated.
No, recall that stuff, regurgitate it, whatever the word is, it out, and you would get like a relatively high mark, and yeah, and although there are questions that are about like understanding, like like, oh, evaluate the use of this technique on this company, you can still use like the things that you kind of remember, to kind of like help build upon that.
Mm-hmm.
Where in math, I think the variance on the questions is much higher
It's
than
way
like
higher, yeah.
most other subjects.
You can't quite prepare for a math test before a math test. You can only prepare for the concepts that you know in your
Yeah,
head.
yeah, like math.
Effectively.
No, math, like you can like remember like every single thing, how to do like every single thing. But if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have, but you if you're like not able to apply the tools, right, you're just not
Mm-hmm.
gonna succeed. Like, if you're like not able to read and understand what the question is talking about, especially with like long like word problems, or like multi like
I,
um multi
I thought you were gonna say long division there. I was gonna cry. Moving on.
multi-step problems, then at least for me, in my perspective, math has a much higher variance, and that understanding the concepts and being able to like effectively read the questions in like a short amount of time is also, because
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like from all the exams that I've done, math is the one that probably was like the only one where I'm like, I wish I had more time, or I wish I had done this question faster. Whereas in like many other
yeah.
subjects, I'm like usually at least left with around like 10 or like 20 minutes at the end of the 2 hour session to be like, I guess I'll just like look over this question, look over my answer, see what else I can add. Whereas in math, I'm just like, what questions can I cut out and not do, because because if I do it, I'm gonna like
There were
spend
quite a
like
few, yeah. You're
20
gonna
minutes on it.
spend a lot of time on it.
Mm-hmm.
True, true. But that also brings up the importance of like what to prioritize before getting a math test. And I think a clear mind and confident head is something that's like actually truly valuable in a math exam.
Yeah,
Like compared to
definitely.
other exams at least. No, like if you're going in there and you see a question you don't know how to do, and you start panicking and you start like self-doubting yourself, you start like double checking everything, you're gonna waste too much time, you're not gonna be able to answer confidently. You're really going to need that like clear state of mind when taking a math exam. And like I'm talking from experience here. There's some math exams where I just completely flop because, well, I go in there, I see a hard question, and all of a sudden my whole world crumbles. But I don't know if that's just me or if it applies to other people. All I know is that a really, really steady mind is important for taking a math exam, because chances are you're not going to be able to answer every question flawlessly and confidently.
Yeah, of course, and the thing is that with like, especially if like in class math tests, where instead of having to deal with like five different topics, you mainly have to deal with like one topic. If you see like a hard
Mm-hmm.
questions in the beginning, you can obviously like skip it first, and then sometimes like the thoughts of like how to solve the question, which is like pop up later on when you're doing other questions.
Oh, right, 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 right.
Which kind of like brings like an interesting point to how, at least in like our math class, our teacher organized the test so that the harder questions are more towards the end, and the easier questions are more towards the
From the
beginning.
beginning.
Yeah, and then
Right.
the beginning questions are more like, what do you say? I don't know how to say,
Ones to
but more like
like
simple
refresh your mind.
arithmetic stuff,
Uh,
like like in
right.
our like
Prime your
no,
schema.
like in our like what is it like integration tests,
Integration test? Yeah,
yeah,
those are
yeah, like
simple integrals in the
yeah,
beginning.
the beginning is like, oh,
Like find the antiderivative
find
of
the
this.
answer or
Oh,
like these equations, and then towards the end it's
yeah.
like, no, it's like this plane is flying with this velocity, find the acceleration and the displacement vector, and find the time in
Hmm.
which it reached its maximum height or maximum speed or something, and then
I
you
want
know
you to know that I want you to know that revolutions question at the end like took 20 minutes for me to even try and
yeah,
understand.
revolutions around the x-axis. No, and I feel like
So many.
that is like a great organization of the test to like give students like a little refresher in the beginning, and not
Honestly, yeah.
yeah, and not like just like randomly organize the questions, and then students who know the tactics of like skipping hard questions to do easier questions first, to take advantage of that, because some people just like to go like one by one questions. Oh, it's question number one, number two. I should probably do this first. Whereas organizing it for the students is like basically like lessening the process of having to sort through all the questions, having students sort through all the questions themselves, and then like go to the easier questions and then the hard one later on.
Mm, I actually kind of both disagree and agree at the same time.
Hmm. Say it.
If you're presented with a difficult question at the beginning and you're able to answer it, like if you're able to answer it confidently, if you're able to like figure out what the question's saying, I suppose there's like this huge confidence boost that you get when going through the rest of your exam. And that's happened to me a couple times before. It's obviously not as consistent as like having that little step up like you stated before, but like if it's a risk you can take, like the confidence you get from there, like the clear state of mind you get from there is much more valuable in my opinion. But
Hmm.
what I'm saying here is usually inconsistent with what truly happens. The risk is far greater with you seeing the question and
Yeah, I
turning tail
mean,
immediately.
that is like a double-edged sword. Like, you can like see a hard question, you can do it. Oh man, this is gonna be a breeze. Or you see like a hard question, and then you like, I have no idea how to do this, and then you just like stump throughout the test sometimes if you don't have
Hmm.
the right mindset to pull through.
Other than that, but what do you think? You said studying for math exams. You say that you don't really value stressing yourself out until like the very last moment for an exam, right? Or like you don't think that's going to help you.
I don't think what's gonna help me. What?
Stressing out until the last moment for an exam and like I guess pushing yourself way too hard for it.
I have no idea. I just feel like, at least for me, I'm more casual about this exam in particular more than probably all the other exams I've taken, and not just because
Dang.
I got like just like conditional offers on like a few universities already, in which I just need to keep my IB scores up, and then these exams are just more of a prep for the IB word exam, and the GPA isn't
Okay,
like
okay.
too big of a concern for me because
Ah,
they don't really check that. They only like care about the IB scores at this point. Yeah, but yeah, I just have like kind of like the mindset that this isn't the word exam yet, and at least for this exam, it's like a good test on my side to reflect on how well I'm doing, and I just think to myself, this test, at least this one, isn't gonna be the one that's gonna completely determine the rest of my uni
well,
uni prospects
yeah,
and such.
yeah. Let's see. But what about time studying before an exam? Because obviously, when we get to the actual full IB exam, it's going to be what 2 years worth of content that we'll have to review.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get this, I guess, 1 week exam week for the exams. Do you think that's actually going to be enough to review? Like 1 week
No, definitely
exam
not.
leave?
Definitely not. Not
Definitely not.
no, um review, remember, regurgitate, probably for some subjects, review and understand. There's no way at least in my opinion, there's no way you can do all the contents on like 6 different subjects in 1 week.
Right.
Even with like our May 2021 get some like syllabus paper like cut out. I don't
They've been
think it's
cutting out a
enough.
few things.
I feel like at least in my opinion, our school gives like 1 week period of studying just to give opportunities for students who refuse or like just like doesn't study at all to have at least some time to study.
So what do you think is like what do you think is the adequate time to be studying before the actual IB exams then? Like what would you give as a range? A few months, a few weeks, etc., etc.?
At least a few months. At least a few months. Yeah, I also feel like I probably said maybe like when is our IB exams are like late April.
Late April.
So I would
sometime
say
in-
like middle March is probably like a good place to start there. Maybe like even like beginning March or
March.
like
True.
whenever. I have no idea when like
I mean,
EEs.
we'll be done with our we'll be done with our EEs.
Yeah, when like
I
IAs and EEs are like all done and completely submitted. That's probably a good time to like begin studying. But also like
So we also-
but also I feel like taking this like winter break, like maybe like beginning January, to just maybe like for example for math at least maybe go through like 5 or like 10 questions on each topic as a refresher is very important, because I remember seeing a graph on like memory, where if for example at the moment you learn and then your like memory of like that topic drops like a lot, but if you take like a brief moment, I mean like right after that memory drop to like remember it again, the drop in like memory and understanding decreased like by like a significant amount, and then at the end you then refresh it again.
and it's not too difficult.
Yeah, it's not too difficult.
Oh. Yeah, I think that's a similar phenomenon that actually happened with this exam here, and how we actually had our math mock exam, like middle of the semester.
Hmm.
I don't know if it was just me, but it felt way easier to just review things, knowing that we already did it like a few months ago, and all I had to do was read over it a couple times again, do a few more practice questions, and suddenly I feel like I was prepared to take the exam. Did
Yeah.
that happen to you too? Or-
Yeah, I know. I mean, no, I mean,
Well, apart from like integrations and derivatives, but that's a new content.
no, certainly. I mean, I didn't. At least for like this exam, it has some like old contents on graphs and stuff, or like some other old topics where I didn't devote much time or like any at all to like study during this exam, because I honestly thought this exam was just gonna be an entire unit, just like pure calculus, so it didn't bother. I actually thought that somehow, and
Like full exam 1.5.
yeah, I know.
It's gonna be calculus.
I thought the entire exam was just gonna be calculus, and I was like, heck yeah, calculus. And I was like gonna be like so excited for it. And I was like, wait, what is this graph doing in my calculus exam?
Why do we have eigenvectors and eigenvalues again?
Yeah, but the thing is that just like having to like study for the like mock exam, kind of like just like got me into exam. I'd be like, oh, what's this graph? And then I like look at it a bit, read it a bit more. I do like a little bit, and I'm like, hey, all this memory is slowly starting to come back to me, and I can like
back to me.
easily do everything. But yeah, consistency in reviewing is more important than one day cram in like some like library study room with like other people.
I'm going to adopt a different philosophy for this at least. Over this Christmas break, I'm going to. I mean, not a different philosophy. I think it actually falls in line with your idea, Will. But over this Christmas break, I'm planning to finish up all my IAs and EEs to just set myself free starting next semester, where I can just place all my emphasis on the things that I can do better.
Yeah.
The final IB exams.
I was
Is that what
kind
you're planning to do, more or less?
Oh, it's what I obviously plan to do, but it's also something that I also need my teachers to return my IA feedback first round back in order for me to able to continue with honestly one of the biggest IA in all of my subjects, which is the business IA, and he still hasn't returned it.
Oh. Don't you guys have 4 IAs divided for business, or is that economics?
No, it's 3 IAs for economics, but it's like mini IA. It's like 750 words. It's not like an entire like, oh
Oh,
it's like how many days will this milk spoil biology IA.
oh, okay. Doesn't take too long. And I guess you have your math IA and business IA.
Math I honestly I can just go do more like graph theory stuff, and then I just be done. I just need like to like organize it at this point.
Contrary to that, I'm going to do the big brain move and completely scrap my current idea for another one.
Math IA?
Wait, yeah, for math
I
IA.
thought Ben's like
Well,
refusing to let us do that.
Ben's refusing to let me do it, but I don't want to because my current IA is still going to flop, I believe, or at least of the direction I see it going.
At least my IA is like alright. It's fine. It's a bit more on the basic side, but it's possible.
Yeah, yeah. My IA is. I think I went a bit too adventurous with what I was trying to do, and all of a sudden it's just not working at the end.
Yeah,
There's like
yeah,
too
you
many
and your
extraneous valuable.
music theory
No, it's
kids.
not that. It's not that. It's not that. I'm doing one on modeling the spread of sickle cell anemia using graph theory. Which is
You and you
yeah.
biology kids.
Oh, you and your biology kids. We already have enough of you biology kids. That would be.
Yeah, come on. Can you biologist kid?
Switch to an actual science. Is what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's fine. I get your prospect. You can become like, not a great doctor making lots of money, and then I can be the business guy, being your boss above you, managing the money.
Thank you for managing my money, taking it from me. But
Thank you.
on the topic of IAs though, do you not recommend redoing your IA at all? Do you
Please
think
don't,
that's something you shouldn't do?
please don't redo your IA. At least not now. Like honestly.
Wait, no, not for me, but in general, for like other people too.
Hmm?
Not for me, but like for other people. Just the concept of redoing an IA.
This question has too much of high variance for me to be able to give a concrete answer. It honestly completely depends on your situation.
That's fair. That's fair. But
But what?
it's mostly just the idea that should you stick through with something that you still don't know works, or like you have this IA topic and everything's been going wrong. Do you think you should still stick through with it, or do you think it's better to find another IA?
Again,
Or is that still too much
there's
variance?
so much variance because going wrong can mean so many things. Like, is it like going wrong in your experiment, or is it like going wrong in the organization, going wrong in, the math itself not working out? Because like some of those going wrong things can be like a big part of your like IA itself, and you can theorize with something to come out help with like evaluate like a solution for it, I guess. But I don't know much about that part, I guess.
Okay. What about EEs? this forbidden topic.
EE is forbidden. I don't know much about changing EE
I mean,
topic.
we have to. Well, not changing an EE topic, but I guess completing it over the December break.
Why would you not complete
We
over
were-
some?
we were supposed- We were supposed to get the first draft done by mid of this year.
Yeah,
mid-semester, right?
yeah. And I heard about 5 people about how they're not done, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like
but we have the December break here to revise the second draft. And do you estimate it'll take a long time in general?
Hmm?
Do you estimate it'll take a long time to like revise your second
Are you
draft?
talking about me, or are you talking about asking other people again? 'Cause then I'm just gonna
Just you.
give you the answer of high variance. For me, hmm. I feel like I'm one good, maybe like one good source or like breakthrough to just like breezing through it. But yeah, it's just like one good source or one breakthrough through it, and then just like being,
I know there.
you know,
Some
there's
people
what.
doing like science IAs, right? where they
Yeah.
have to actually go outside and collect data and do that experiment.
Yeah, those freaking science kids, man, I don't get them. No.
Well, it's
Why?
definitely a huge investment.
like, why become a doctor to help the world when you can become a billionaire and donate?
Ah,
Like a true
wow.
like a true economist. You
True
know,
capitalist.
through like peak capitalism.
Is that what IB business has been teaching you though?
Hmm?
Going over and taking over the world and becoming a billionaire and overrunning the economy.
Yeah, yeah,
IB business.
yeah. IB business. We like learn a lot about how to keep people as laborers and be able to like have them work at maximum efficiency so you can reap the benefits. But yeah.
Okay. What's morality again?
No.
No wonder you go over.
No. We do consider like more morality in our business practices, but that's just mainly for like PR relations, for like PR purposes.
I hope economics doesn't sound so whatever this is. Inhumane, morally incongruent.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Economic is more like the mathematical part of it. It's like how many employees
Oh,
can
I
we,
see.
how many how what numbers of employees and salary can we cut in order to maximize my profit? But yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Crossing that off my list. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? It's mostly just winter break. Ooh,
I
and
know. I suppose we can
doing
like.
IB work.
I suppose we can cool down this episode too. What plans do you have for winter break
Mm.
apart from like non-academic
Hey,
tasks?
does CAS work?
Oh God. Hey, we're doing cast right now, eh?
Oh, we are doing CAS right now,
Yeah, we
huh?
are doing cast right now.
What else I plan to do? Uh, got to do work on the piano again. A little competition I have coming up. That's fun.
You do realize you don't
I'm
have to.
planning.
You do realize you don't have to sound smart for our like two podcast listeners.
Shut. Well,
you, you
you
know.
asked me what I'm planning to do over the break.
Well, okay. There is no shame in saying that you want to play some anime games online.
I, I,
I.
I am not playing those games. I am playing Tekken 7 and some Smash Brothers and sleeping in and then waking up to do work. That's because that's my routine now. Okay.
It's okay. You can keep convincing everyone that you're.
Do you do
That,
you want to show these viewers your farm and Don't Starve Shin? You want to show them your big potatoes that you made, all your efforts.
well, of course, those forms are applicable in God.
Applicable. It's winter break. Let's go farming.
It's
says
winter break.
Shin.
Let's go farming, says me.
And, how much sleeping have you done?
Hmm?
Let's get that done. Let's get that straight. How much sleeping have you done?
I don't know, a lot.
I've been actually, yeah.
More than
I've
usual.
been catching up with
But
like all the sleep deprivation I've had over.
but I'm like just waking up at like a little bit above usual time that I wake up because my body is just like I know.
Oh. When is it though? Like when do you usually wake up?
I don't know, like 7:30 right now.
Dang. I'm generally like an 8 o'clock to 8:30 person. It's like moderate range. I know some people that wake up at 10. That just like scares. That just completely confuses me. But, if you're tired, you're tired. And I can't blame you.
But yeah.
What else are you planning to do? Huh? Over the
Planning?
winter break.
Oh, the
Yes.
winter break. I mean, I got like maybe like couple things.
Farm to get to.
planned. Excuse me.
I've got my backlog of Northern Line videos to dive through.
Ah yes. I had to listen to this bald guy talks about his life, which is like a great podcast as thing for me to do while I'm like working on math. It's actually incredible.
It's true. He does do it. And it actually does help him calm down.
Yeah.
But
Other than that, I don't know. Just lying around, I guess. But I'll probably find something to do.
is it bad that I'm planning to? Well, actually, is it bad that I'm planning to like read a few. No, what do I mean by is it bad? What do I mean by is it bad? I'm planning to read a few books over the winter break.
Is it
All right,
is it is
here we
it
go.
are you like seriously asking that question? Are you like trying to
I
make
have
it
no
are you
clue
trying to make a
why
joke?
when I why. No, I'm not. I have no clue why my brain started off with is it bad? And yeah, Mr. Amen really likes this thing called Great Expectations. He's telling me to read it, so I'll do that.
Are you like trying to
Or
like
read.
make some sort of like statement against like audiobooks or something?
No, 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 no. I'm just trying to fill in the conversation time, all right, buddy? You got
Alright.
anything else you want to say?
Alright, yeah, you know what I have to say? I say, hey, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode.
Mm,
If you do like it, whoever you are, wherever you are, please share this. We would appreciate more listeners because it would make things more interesting and does not make us feel like we're talking to a wall sometimes. But anyhow,
oh yeah,
that's gonna
talking
be
to a
it
wall.
for today, this morning. We hope you guys have
Yep.
enjoyed and see you guys
We'll have a guest episode next
later.
time, I believe.
Hopefully,
Uh, hopefully.
or you get to listen to our episode we have in our bank in case we don't get a chance to record. We hope you
Alrighty.
never get to
Yeah.
listen to it because it's a horrible episode.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Okay.
goodbye.
Bye bye.